Hey there, I'm Evan. Welcome back to another Waverly Ranch video. Today is the 12th of August and tomorrow is turkey processing day. But while we still had these birds here, I wanted to take a walk through and show you what we did, what we put together this year, how we raised them, how we housed them, and how we're getting them to processing. So hit the like and subscribe button and let's get walking through what we did with our turkeys this year. When we first brought them home, their first 2 weeks, they spent in this brooder right here. This is about 2 feet by 10 feet, so they had 20 square feet, and this is where they spent the first couple of weeks of their life before we moved them out into the intermediate size space. This is the intermediate space in our barn. I built this year as a step between putting birds outside and having them in the brooder. So we use this for our turkeys, then we used it for our Cornish cross broilers. And right now, we've got Americanas and some olive eggers in here that are a couple months old right now. And there are the Americanas in here right now, and this is their home for the time being. And I think we're going to build a run outside of this and maybe turn this into their permanent home. Still got to make up our mind on that. So the turkeys were in this space from the time they were 2 weeks old when they left the brooder up until they were about 2 months old. So they were born the 1st of April, and it was in June when we moved them outside into their permanent home. So here they are. We've got 14 turkeys we're taking for processing first thing tomorrow morning. One of our local Hutterite colonies has a provincially inspected processing facility, and that's where we take our birds. So we've got 3 toms and 11 hens, and they are absolutely ready for processing. They're at their full weight. These Orlop bronze turkeys, the toms should get to be about 28 pounds at process weight. And the hens down here should be about 18 pounds process weight. So we'll take you for a quick walk through. Hi, sweeties. So this is their pen. This is about 20 feet wide by I think about 35 feet long for the 14 turkeys. And they are strutting and puffing and mating. Hey, sweetie. So in here we have a 3-sided shelter. And we built this just along the back of a shed that was here. Had a bit of a concrete foundation that I just used for some of the basis of what we built. Built them a roosting ladder, and they didn't really choose to sleep on the roosting ladder. They preferred sleeping down on the ground in their shelter. There's no food here because we've removed it for the last night before processing. We've got 2 3-gallon waters that are here, and this pen we used 1x1 ABS coated wire mesh. This is welded wire, so this is a whole lot stronger than your typical chicken wire, which is really only used for keeping birds in and isn't really strong enough for keeping anything out. So I did run out of a couple of lengths of the black wire, so I had to improvise with some scraps of plywood. But I do have the new wire already. Be nice. Be nice. So on the top of this, I do have your standard chicken wire, and that is just to keep out things like hawks and owls when these guys were really small. So now that you've seen how we raise them over the last few months, how are we getting them to be processed tomorrow? For what we've done in the past couple of years for our broilers is we've just used chicken crates, we've used some bins that we've drilled with lots of holes just to take them in, and we've taken them in the back of the truck. Those 14 turkeys needed something a little bit more substantial. Our chicken bins weren't going to be big enough, and you certainly couldn't put a turkey in a Rubbermaid tote to take for processing. So what I did is I built this pod for my utility trailer here. So my trailer, it is a 5x10 space on the bed of the trailer. And so what I did is I built this pod that can just slide in and out. So, you know, instead of having a trailer for everything, we still don't have a livestock trailer for taking them. I can use this utility trailer. It's big enough for my little tractor. It's big enough for my little excavator. And now we can use it for taking birds to and from to the processor. I don't need to take them from the processor in this. Yeah, so we can take the birds to the processor in this. How does this work? So we're going to back the trailer up to the door, and so there's a door here in the back of the pod. Just got some beaner clips. This just opens like that. So take each turkey, put it in, close the door, go for the next turkey. When you're all done, simply close up that, and we raise the tailgate, just like that. So how do we get them out? You know, of course we don't want to climb in through that little door and be dragging all the turkeys out. Simple thing, so more clasp on the top, and this whole thing lifts up just like this. So at the Hutterite facility where I take the birds to get processed, they've got all the young boys who are unloading the birds, and so they can get in here, grab the birds, hand them off, and they just go on the conveyor belt ready for processing. I say conveyor belt, it's really a hanging mechanism by their feet, and they just grab them out of the transporter, and off they go for processing into the next room. So real quick video for today. These guys were a lot of fun. We're looking forward to having turkeys again in future years. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what we've done to raise these guys. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your support. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers. There, turkeys, you're ready to go to the processor.